It's your boy ARP representing that Stop Being Dirty. And I just want to give y'all some life advice, y'all. As cliche as it may sound, as common sense as it could be, as much as we heard this a million times, we have to remind ourselves that karma is real. Some of us have a lot of great karma. Some of us have a lot of bad karma. Some of us have a little bit of both. None of us are perfect. But we have to take those moments in life where we look in the mirror as grown men and women and try to remind ourselves like some of the shit that I'm doing is a little bit too out of petty, is a little bit too out of pride, is a little bit too out of ego. It's not easy for us to look in the mirror and tell ourselves when we're wrong. Understand that, especially when things start to feel personal, it's not easy to accept that I'm doing wrong. And it doesn't have to be at a competitive level. It doesn't have to be at anything wild, just in general. Because when you walk around and you live within your own means and your own mind, your own personality, your own morals, your own character, it's easy to just assume that you're doing what you're doing and you're doing right. But the thing about reality and the thing about some of the negative energy that you carry and some of the negative things that you do, it doesn't go anywhere. It all comes back sooner or later. Comes back in the form of many things. People find out about things, people reveal things, evidence goes around, lawsuits get created, people fuss, it's just not worth it. And a lot of it could be avoided if you just sit back and look in the mirror and realize like, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Even if you're the big dog, understand how hard it could be to be like, I'm not going to let nobody smaller than me or whatever tell me or prove to the world that I'm wrong. But when you're wrong, you're wrong. When you're lying, you're lying. And it takes a very, very, very strong person to admit that and carry themselves like that. And as men and women, we all, URL. Oh my God. I never really respect the person that throws rocks and hides their hand. You know, there's people in the world, they like each other, they love each other, they hate each other, they dislike each other. You know, the act like you're not a hater when you're a hater, the act like you're doing right when you're doing wrong, like it's kind of whack to me. It's kind of whack to me. But we've had some recent things to say because I had some things bottled up and I tried to avoid any negativity prior to our last event. I'm not the person that I ever come out and feel like, oh, it's time to stick my chest out because we all have our wins and our losses, right? I've said it so many times. Like, I don't relish in no moments too much. I enjoy our success at times. You got to celebrate your wins. It's healthy. Give yourself the credit that you deserve. Give the people around you the credit that they deserve. But don't relish in things, especially when things are just so volatile. Like the battle rap culture, for example. You can't relish in your moments like, oh, yo, the culture is saying this. And then you come out, you stick your chest out because the same way you be up is the same way you could be down tomorrow. That goes for any blogger, any media, any league owner, any battler. How many battlers have I had that conversation with behind the scenes? Same thing. I had that conversation with Chims. Are you up right now, homie? They're gonna turn on you though sooner or later. It's gonna come. It happened to RBE multiple times. It happens to every league. They'll find the reason to be like, nah, you winning too much, or nah, that was whack, so I hate you now. So you don't relish in things. So don't ever get it misconstrued with the type of person that I am. I never pick moments to stick out my chest. What I do is I go with the time of what's happening. Period. Said that, when you go out there, because I said earlier, I don't like when people throw rocks and hide their hands. When I said earlier about, folks with these actions and trying to tell people they shouldn't buy pay-per-views, it's like you forgot where you came from. Like we all remember, what is it, watchbattle.live or .com or whatever, right? That supposedly Harry paid for and all that type of stuff. Like, we don't forget where you came from. But when you try to do those things, it's not just motivated by that. When I speak out, for every statement that I make online, there's 100 that I'm still keeping private. That's the thing about when you do so much lying, when you do so much bad to people, all that evidence, it's you think that it doesn't just come, you think that people don't just talk and exchange, and you don't think that word gets around. You know what I'm saying? This is a very, very small niche culture and market. You know, all the things that have happened to these leagues, like, there's a lot of things that have gone around and a lot of things that have been collected. We know, and this is why I started to speak out, because when you have all this stuff in the shadows and when nobody speaks out, we actually allow it to continue and to foster and grow. It's like some of us have to speak out, especially if you're just constantly getting fucked over. Speak out, stand up for yourself, go hire a lawyer, go talk to the people, right? Don't worry, I'm getting to an actual situation again. Don't worry, y'all, I'll get there. But when I come out and I say, like, yo, all this trying to convince people of not buying pay-per-views or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And then people come out with this supposed, sarcastic, hands behind their back. Like, I don't know what people's talking about. People just hating. That's really, like, I expect more from the man, to be honest, because I always looked at the guy in a certain light. Like, that's a solid guy. But I don't understand how you can continue to lie and do this stuff behind the scenes so much, and then just lie in the public like this. And this is why I continue to defend RBE and other leagues and how much of the bullshit. So let me ask you a question. Since you want to put out there and act like people are hating on you, right? Less than a week ago, did you happen to call MBS and ask MBS to not cover or promote RBE? Let me take it a step further. I'm just asking questions. Once that was declined, like, no, I cover everything, did you then offer money to NBS to not cover or promote RBE? That's why I said on Hip Hop Is Real last year, I said, yo, those people trying to sue anybody over alleged torturous interference is one of the most cowardly, if not the most cowardly thing I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't walk around playing bully, and then when somebody says, no, I want to keep my lunch milk today, then you call the FBI on them. Like, that's the comparison to me of all the sabotage and behind the scenes. But I would like somebody to ask that on camera. Media, bloggers, don't be scared to ask questions. Ask, did you contact within the last week MBS and ask them to not cover RB? And if so, why? And if so, do y'all think that could be considered hate? Because we out here working. No, there was none of this back and forth stuff right now, like this last couple days, right? Everybody was minding their business. All we knew is that February had a bunch of crazy cards going down, and RBE was going first. There's been times where we went last. We went February 4th. We minded our business. We had a very, very good and successful event, and then phone calls start getting made. So let me give you a little bit more backdrop. Shout out to MBS. This is who MBS is. They do a great job. They cover all leagues. They cover all battle rap. They cover sports. That's what MBS stands for. Nothing but sports. And even look at the quality of, like, the posts that they put up. They do a great job, and they're building their following. And I've seen that type of behavior from these people. The moment you start to build up a following, here they come, right? They're coming with attempts to control you. They're coming with attempts. Honestly, that feels like allegedly like some payola shit. And I'm curious, like, let me also incorporate things that have been made public by other people to the fans. If Sean alludes to being offered money to not battle on RBE. I'm not talking about like when you're under a contract to rap and your contract and your agreement is to only focus on that, not battle anywhere else. I'm talking about when you're offered money, like, oh no, you're about to work with Rare Breed Entertainment. Here's some money. Don't do that. Or when the same thing, that's what Hollow clearly said on Twitter. And he put, I was offered money not to do this. Or if MBS gets a call, and if allegedly they get offered money to not promote, is that illegal? Is that torturous interference? Is that hate? Answer those questions for those three things. Yeah. Is that hate? Is that illegal? And is that torturous interference? What media or blogger can stand up and say, ARP called me, or battler and say, ARP called me and said, don't work with them, or offered me money and said that? No battler, no media, no blogger. I don't do those type practices. I don't present that type of energy. I don't build that type of karma. I don't conduct that type of business. So answer the question, sir. Did you do that? And if so, why? RBE's minding their business, doing their own little event. Why, when they put up a flyer of the Lady Bricks called out Bags and Bodies, a phone call, yo, you promoting RBE, like stop promoting them. Why? I'm covering everybody. Okay, listen, let me offer you some money. Is it one of those three, if not all three of those things? Illegal, torturous interference, right? Is that not hating? The same way I can put facts out there and then, because I understand the man's personality, like all of that sarcastic and petty and deflection. If you're ignorant, if you're stupid, if you're slow, if you're a groupie, if you're a sheep, you'll go like, oh yeah, your ARP is never. You've never seen me come on camera and just wake. I have so many better things to do in life than to just wake up and say, yo, you know what? Let me bother somebody. That's not my character. It's not in my karma to move like that. I don't want to fuck with nobody. I don't want to bother nobody. But I constantly got to show y'all this shit so y'all understand, why does he speak out? That could hinder my business. When I'm promoting my card, or I'm selling my VOD, and you calling media outlets and telling them and allegedly offering money, asking them to not promote RBE. I'm selling a VOD right now. You're putting your hand in my pocket then, because that's all promotion. Somebody could go buy the VOD because they seen MBS post RBE. Oh, where RBE? I didn't even know. I'm out the loop. Or, oh, that's going on. Like, what's got? Let me go check out RBE. Oh, they got a VOD for sale, $50. You're taking money. That's the way I explain. And I had conversations with my lawyers. Like, yo, this just happened too. Why would you then turn around and try to create a perception that somebody's hating on you? And once again, shout out to all the bloggers and all the media, because I feel like a lot of bloggers and a lot of media have gotten into at some point, they were approached like that. A lot of them told me, you know what I'm saying? And there's a big effort that's always, you know what? Let me backtrack. Let me say this. I've identified it a long time ago. It's one of URL's biggest strengths, right? Of course, at times in their company, they've always had good financing and sponsorship. It could be Exclusive Vodka. Exclusive Vodka was shouted out on the front, and I think Smack has a video saying he's the one that made it happen for Hitman versus Surf, that event, right? Even though Harry blew up at that time and went crazy on Twitter saying like, what, I lost this money, blah, blah, blah. And speaking of Harry, whether it's caffeine, whether it's Al Capone cigarette, you've had times where you've had all these companies and financially, you know what I'm saying? So you've had financial strengths, and maybe you still do have financial strengths. You've had great promotion. You were the first to really blow up on the street side. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of things that have put URL in the position that they're in, right? But I think one of the things that they concentrate a majority of their energy on is controlling perception. And there's a good crop of people that can always understand and see through. Like, I'm one of those people. So when you get on camera and you act like you don't know what's going on and you're being hated on, meanwhile, you, the boss of the company, are making phone calls. Yo, man, I see you posting flyers for RBE, man. Yo, don't do that. As a matter of fact, I'll pay you. That's because you're trying to control perception. That's the strength that you really, really relish in. Because when these people could turn around and say, is ARP crazy or whatever, it's because you do want to throw the rock and hide your hand. You don't want people to see how important RBE is to you. But it's obvious to anybody that has fucking eyes, ears, and a brain and an average or above average IQ. It's obvious because these guys is minding their business. Why are you making torturous interference phone calls like that? Am I making this up? Did this just happen less than a week ago? Bloggers, don't react to my blog right here and try to be all neutral. Don't be like, damn, man, what y'all think, man? Like, I don't know, like it's RBE and you. Don't do that. Just answer the question. If you found out that these people was over there minding their business, doing their event, and I was behind the scenes calling media and saying, yo, man, I see you promoting their last event or their upcoming event, man. Don't do that. Let me answer what that looks like to you. Is that hate? Is that legal? Is that torturous interference? Just answer that. Don't play neutral. If you're going to, don't react to my blog then. Just let me speak for myself. If you're going to pick this blog up as content on your shit, keep it 1,000. Because anybody that does anything less is scary and compromised. And if you're scary, if you're so scared that you might not get into a URL event anymore, or you might not get a phone call from one of these guys to get some behind the scenes information, whatever, or if you compromised, then just mind your business then and stay out of it. Because the shit that we have, the amount of evidence, the amount of things that we know, the amount of things that has happened to us and other leagues is too clear to be denied, and it doesn't stop. I just keep feeding it to our lawyers. Less than a week ago, did you do it, sir? Did you do it? You think I just did that blog the other day for nothing, right? Just because I just felt like, oh, I was sticking my chest out because divide and conquer. No, y'all know I don't move like that. For everything I say on camera, there's probably 100 more behind it, like I'm trying to tell y'all. I don't got no closer for this. Just answer the question.